Hi Gemini, welcome to your monthly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So, let's see what the month of March has in store for you. Before we start, I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, let's see what March has in store for you. So in your actions and your interactions with the world at large. Ooh. You have the Empress. I mean, this is great. So this talks about you laying the ground for fertile interaction. So the Empress talks about all things lush, fertile. It talks about all things, it's actually laying the seeds of growth. This is about you laying the foundations to make things real, to make things tangible. So the Empress is ruled by the sign of Virgo. And the sign of Virgo is practical in nature. It is exacting, it's precise. It's, it's the Virgo, the Virgin. And that talks about coming from a place of purity. And this kind of says to me that this month your actions are very much about settling things, about making things right. This is going to be you going through a process of really saying to yourself more than anybody else, what do I need to put right in my life, and how do I need to and how do I go about that? This is very much you going to be about you honoring who you are by honoring who other people are. And this is kind of like you saying, right, okay, I'm going to clear out my mind, I'm going to clear out my space, because let's face it, Virgo is about the digestive system, and this is about expelling things, it's about getting rid of things, it's about taking the good and taking the positive and the nutrients and leaving behind what no longer serves us. So if this month, I wouldn't be surprised if you go, if you start spring cleaning earlier than before, going through stuff, throwing things out, going around with, my mum used to go around with a black bag and say, right, you got 10 minutes. If you don't use it, if you haven't used it for God knows how long, I'm throwing it away. So everything that you want to keep, you better put on your bed. Everything else is going in the bin. It's that kind of energy. And this is going to be about you clearing up your life. This is about you making the decision to get really serious about clearing things up. Not just your physical environment and, your personal space, but your mind, your psyche, your emotions, your everything. This card here, your actions and your interactions, sets the stage for the kind of month that you're going to have. And the Empress card she's the fertile mother. She's about beauty. She's about lush environments. She's about creating the best space, the most fertile space to bring a child into the world. That's what she represents. She represents Venus. You can see the symbol for Venus here. She represents Venus in a pregnant sort of state. She has that kind of ability, and what is a mother all about? When they're pregnant, they just want to make the best environment for the child that they're about to bring into the world. Well, your life is your child now, and this is about you saying, how do I make my external circumstances better for myself and therefore be a better person for everybody else? How do I make my interactions with other people better by example? It's a really strong position. It's a really beautiful card as well. It means that you're going to be going through a complete life clear out this March. Okay, let's see what your money and your materials has to say. So you get the Lovers. This is beautiful. Gemini, this is you. You come up as yourself in your money and your materials. This means that finances are looking really good for you this month, guys. It talks about you making decisions, because the Lovers represents love. It represents your partnerships, your relationships, absolutely. But it also represents choice. That's the other tagline that people forget to attached to this card. The other one is also commitment. It's about a blessed union. You've got the Archangel Raphael there blessing the union of something, and that for me says that it's about blessing your choice. In making this decision to get really committed to who you are and clearing your life up, you make space for more positivity and more abundance to come into your life. And the way that this comes into your life is through money. For you, those of you that are coupled and partnered, this is about you receiving more finances and more abundance and gain through your partner. It also talks about the bond that you have with your significant other being a source of strength that you can use and utilize to create more wealth. It's like you start to budget together. You start to think, right, how can we hunker down? How can we make more money? How can we generate more? How can we save more? How can we get financially healthy? And it's like you're going to be doing this with your significant other. You're going to be drawing strength from your, from your partner effectively. For those of you that are single, this is about you making the choice to clear up your finances. It's about you making the choice to say, right, I know what I want, I know what I need, I know how to get there now, and more importantly, I've got the drive to do it. This is really great, guys, because it means that love, it means that the union of your finances, it means that the area of your finances, your money and your materials is being blessed by the heavens in some way, shape or form. And that can never be a bad thing, really, can it? So in your communications and your interactions, this talks about your, so Four of Cups wants out. The Four of Cups has got something to say. So your communications is exactly that. It's the sector of air. It's your social media presence. It's text messages, emails, phone calls, letters as well. Any type of communication, any type of interaction with the world at large. So the Four of Cups, 4 is the number of Saturn. And it's all to do with structure. It's all to do with organization, and this right underneath this as well. This is interesting. This seems to be a trend that's starting to come through this month on this format of reading that I'm doing. And I love it because last month I got something different. The month before I got something different. It's like I'm learning through tarot, how to do it in different and ever increasing ways. And I'm loving it. I really hope you guys are as well. So you've got 4, like I said, the number of structure, the number of Saturn, the number of organization. It's about crossing your T's and dotting your I's. But the cups is your emotions. It's your emotional energy that you pour into something. Your interactions and your communications, on a communicative level, and your ideas are now going through a process of you're really examining your thought process. You're really examining what you say to people and how you say it. And you've been on that kick since last year. Like I said, you've Gemini and Gemini, Taurus, Scorpio and probably Aquarius have been through the most change. Recently Capricorn have really started to go through it as well, but yeah, those specific signs for me have been through quite a lot. Of evolution, let's say. Anyway, so you've got the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups talks about acknowledging what you have now and being grateful for that, but it also reminds you that everything can change. Everything is in a state of flux. And it also says that you can have more. You've got the cup coming from out of the air. It's a reminder to be grateful for what you have. And through your communications, through speaking to people, you're going to be reminded this month of just how much you do have, just how much support you have, just how many people are on your side, just how many ties that you have with other people. You're going to be getting letters and communications of blessings that come out of the blue that you just couldn't fathom. You couldn't see them because they haven't shaped up yet. And this kind of says that, so you're getting clear of everything, you're restructuring everything, you're creating an environment that is fertile and conducive to the life that you want. You're getting financially healthy, and you're doing that with your partner. For those of you that have partners, for those of you that are single, this is you just committing yourself to having a better financial and abundant outlook on life. And in doing so, you start to get really clear on your understanding of just how much you actually have in your life, just how much you actually have to be grateful for. Through that gratitude, you then start to get surprises and things coming at you that you just didn't expect, opportunities to take up different forms of work, opportunities to take short journeys as well, short travel. It also gives you a space to really contemplate what you want next. Okay, and then finally, in your heart and your hearth, you have, and this is your relationships. This is, you know, your with your significant other, but it's also your relationships with your family and your friends as well, in all ways, shapes and forms. So your heart and your hearth has the 5 of Wands. So this is going to be a really busy month for you guys. For those of you that are coupled, this is going to be about you, you know, this is going to be about you getting in touch with the in-laws. This is going to be you going to family events. This is going to be you know, there's going to be a lot of interaction, because the 5 of Wands is a lot of people talking at any one time. Sometimes that can get quite heated because everybody's got something to say, everybody's got a message to deliver, and everything's urgent and now, and it, you know, can be quite intense. But I feel that this is quite positive. I feel like some breakthrough with in-laws, with family members are going to be reached. Maybe it's like an uneasy, what's the word? An uneasy truce is met, you know, like there's going to be a ceasefire for those of you that have been experiencing some kind of, you know, turmoil with the in-laws or with other family members. Those things now come to a head, and by allowing them to come to a head, you really move into a space where you can say, actually, you know what, I see your point. Maybe we're never really going to agree, but at least we can agree on that. And therefore we start to get a basis of civility come through. You know, that's what I kind of feel from this. For those of you that are partnered, this is about you and your partner being really busy. I see you being really socially busy, going places, talking to lots of people, getting together with friends, you know, making your own gatherings, you know, throwing parties, or, you know, inviting people over, or going to invites that you have. For those of you that are single, you got to get out there, baby. You've got to get out there. Any invite that you get to a party, to a gathering where there's going to be a lot of people and it's going to be loud and it's going to be lots of stimulus, you must go, because the chances are that's where you're going to find your significant other, this person that, you know, starts to become something a little bit special in your life. For your interactions at large with your friends and family, it's just going to be a month of really sort of big social interaction. You know, Gemini, you are already a social butterfly, but this month that just ramps up like 1,000 by 1,000-fold. So it looks like a really good month for Gemini. It's a really exciting month for you as well. Yeah, I just kind of see this is about you really making changes to change your life. You're going to have to look really deep, and for many of you, this is going to be about admitting what needs to change. Once you can do that and you're really honest about it, I really see big strides happening for you from here on in. Your key to the month: Judgment. This is interesting because we've got there'll be a Mercury retrograde coming soon as well, and I've always seen the Judgment card as a very Mercury retrograde energy. The Judgment card talks about a blast from the past. It talks about something or someone that we thought was done in our lives that comes back to be revisited. Now, as is the case with a Mercury retrograde, it brings things back up that we thought were done, because they're not done, because they haven't run their course yet, because we haven't learned everything that we need to from it. And through that challenge, through that slight bit of adversity or uncomfortability, it makes us work more. It makes us better than who we were before. It makes us re-examine something. The Judgment card is also about your partnerships, you know, and that could be familial ties, but it could also be, you know, intimate ties. It could be somebody that you used to date. This is someone or something coming back into your life to be, to be revisited, and that's never a bad thing, because very often the difference between a Mercury retrograde and the Judgment card, because the Judgment card is actually ruled by Sagittarius, is the Judgment card brings something back to you to re-examine, so that you can get the aha eureka moment from it, and you take that shining piece of wisdom and then it leaves again. So it's like it comes in, fucks shit up for a while, and then you go, oh, okay, That's what I've learned from this, that I didn't learn originally when it was all going on, because I was too close to it, I was too attached to it. It also precedes big changes in your life when you see this card. The difference between that and a Mercury retrograde is the Mercury retrograde asks you to redo it. Not just to re-examine it, but to actually do the whole thing again. Whereas the Judgment card just allows you to have the feeling and the experience of it without actually having to go through it again. It's you just taking the information and saying, right, okay, this is what I've learned from it. So it looks like a really great month for you guys. It looks like, you know, this is going to be the start of something new. It's going to be the start of a brand new life for you, really. You know, and it's funny because it's just another month, you know, apart from, oh, also there is a blue moon on the 31st of March. Make a wish. If you've got a wish, make it, throw it out to the universe with everything that you have, because with a blue moon is a very, very rare energy. So enjoy. Yeah, it looks like a great month for you, and I feel like you're going to look back on this one for a good while to come. So I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you that want to reach me, you can do so on the links below. For those of you that have and or wish to donate to the channel, we're eternally grateful for it, and the PayPal link is below. Thank you so much. Of course, that is completely your choice. Let me know how this shapes up for you. I love to hear from you guys, and you absolutely know it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.